We're at the Mieux National Dressage Championships and I'm with the Chief Executive, Jason Brautigam. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, enjoying 4 fantastic days of dressage here.
Hasn't it been amazing?
It's been brilliant, yes. Absolutely fantastic.
So today the highlight for me was obviously Charlotte Desjardins and Carl Hester, but I'm interested to know what you've been doing because you are the boss of British Dressage.
Well, I'm hoping to actually get to see some horses at some point. One thing for me is there's so many people here. It's great to see the whole dressage community come together at our nationals, but it means that there's lots of people to meet, lots of people to speak to. Great to meet our members, great to meet those people who are involved with us as volunteers on our committees. The great and the good of the dressage world, they all come together here at the nationals, and so it's a great opportunity for me to meet them face to face and find out all their views and get their input, and it's just a really great networking opportunity. But hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to relax and watch a bit of dressage myself.
That would be good. Well, tomorrow's the freestyle, isn't it?
It is,
it's the music,
absolutely.
And it's the one that everybody really, really wants to see. But what a phenomenal year you've had.
Oh, it's just been tremendous. It's incredible, really. You know, exceeded our wildest hopes and dreams, and beyond our expectations. Fantastic year. And the achievements of the Olympic team and now the Paralympic team this week has just been phenomenal.
It is really amazing. So tell me about you. How long have you been Chief Executive for?
I've been Chief Executive now at British Dressage for 2.5 years, so this is my 3rd Nationals. Having a great time.
So you're doing something right, because look at Rio, you know?
Absolutely. Things are going from strength to strength for our sport. You know, it's brilliant. The inspiration for me to get involved was actually London in 2012, because my background's in horse racing. I'd worked in horse racing for 25 years. Always loved horses and always loved the equestrian disciplines from afar. But it was really at London 2012 that inspired me to get involved. You know, seeing Charlotte win the gold on Vallegro in London was really emotional, and I thought I'd love to be a part of that. If there was a way to get involved and help the sport realise the opportunity that was there after London as part of the legacy that was left behind, and see if we could really promote the sport to a wider audience. And then when the opportunity came up with Amanda leaving to go to Hong Kong, I had the opportunity to apply for the job for Chief Executive at British Dressage, and the rest, as they say, is history. So 2.5 years have just flown by, but it was just fantastic to go full circle then and be part of the team out there in Rio and experiencing it at first hand, and it was just a real privilege for me to be part of the whole experience.
The lovely thing I found, especially from being here today and very much in the equestrian industry, is how humble everybody is and how warming they are and open to having conversations. You know, we were talking to Spencer Wilton earlier, which phenomenal, so lovely. And there were a group of young girls there that are aspiring riders. They're 16 years old. They're from a little local riding school, and they felt they could ask him for advice and say, what do you think? And that's what we found with everybody, and especially at this event, is how they want to help each other, which is very different to what it used to be like with the dressage world. It used to be affluent only. You know, if you don't know the right people, or you don't have enough money, then you can't do that. But you've changed that to make it more approachable.
Well, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We want to make it far more accessible and make it basically dressage for all. That's our message, to open it up to everyone. We have a very broad church within British Dressage, a really broad base of supporters and riders who compete at grassroots level right the way up from preliminary up to Grand Prix. And the great thing is, as you say, it's a community, and we have fantastic ambassadors in Carl and Charlotte, and now Fiona and Spencer as well on the team this year, and they're great at really helping us spread the word, spreading the message, and engaging with the next generation and bringing in young people into our sport, which is what it's all about. So, we certainly want to move away from the old stuffy image that perhaps dressage was too exclusive, too elitist, too expensive, and dispel some of those myths and those preconceptions that people have about our sport, because actually, no, you'll find that actually dressage is genuinely for all, and we get horses of all different shapes and sizes, riders of all different standards and ability, and they're all able to compete against each other right the way up through to our national championships here. And it's just great to see that message is starting to get through. And actually, since London 2012, our membership has grown by 17% now. So that the numbers speak for themselves. You know,
Yeah.
we've had a record number of starters the last 3 years. You know, we have something in the region of 215,000 starters a year now, competing in affiliated dressage, and 16,000 paid members. So it's just brilliant. The sport just goes from strength to strength, and it does all feed off that incredible success that our teams have enjoyed internationally.
Yeah, it definitely helps. So what's your plan for British Dressage over the next year?
Well, we have lots of plans. There's never a shortage of things to do. As you're probably aware, we implemented our new competition structure this year, and that will then obviously be consolidated over the course of the next 12 months.
Would you mind explaining that competition structure?
Yeah, I mean, as our membership has grown,
Yeah.
we want to offer more and more opportunities, greater choice, greater flexibility for our riders. There used to be just the open and restricted sections, and we've changed it to gold, silver, bronze. The idea being that at the bronze section, we give added protection to those who are new to our sport or at grassroots level and just working their way up through the sport in the early stages. And then you have the silver section, obviously, where you have an opportunity to either go down the area festival route or through our regionals and potentially compete here at the nationals in our silver championships. And then gold replaces what was open before, so that is again the top level. But as our sport continues to grow, it was important to have a structure that was fit for purpose, because we were bursting at the seams, you know, and it's great news for everyone, but actually, you know, there was more demand than supply. And so next year, for example, we're revamping our area festival structure, and we're going from 16 area festivals up to 24, with then 8 semi-finals before the final at Hartbury. So you see, we're having to grow all of our championships, expand what we do. We want to have a new grassroots championship for the bronze section. We want to have music championships, standalone if possible too. And of course at elite level, it's really important that we build our internationals in Britain, so that we can showcase the best that we have to offer, but also bring international riders, international judges over here, and actually promote our sport to the wider audience while there is so much interest in British dressage. You saw obviously in the wake of the Olympics and now again the Paralympics this week, Charlotte was on the front page of every single national newspaper, on the 6 o'clock bulletins at 10 o'clock, making all the headlines. This is our moment in the spotlight, you know, and my challenge as Chief Executive is to make the most of that window of opportunity and make sure that we can realise the potential of this fantastic sport.
The London 2012 came out of that, the dancing horses, which is so true. It's something that I've always wanted to do from a little girl, is dance with horses, and I think you have captured the young 13-year-old in me, my imagination of being able to dance with horses, and I think making it more available to other people, both in every way, not just going to events, but on television and online, means that more people get to see not only the talent and what they can do with these magnificent horses, but also so many people are being engaged now that don't necessarily ride, and it's getting that interest in grooming and in photography and in other parts of the equestrian industry as well. So I think it's amazing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I did mention that actually, aside from our 16,000 paid members, we actually have 50,000 associate members too. You know, and these are fans, enthusiasts, supporters who come on board since London 2012, who just want to be part of this fantastic sport. And as you say, it's just a very broad community, but that's helped by some of the initiatives that we put in place, like Team Quest and My Quest, that are very much aimed at that grassroots rider, that enables us to then engage with a completely new audience. So it has no dress code, it has very simple and relaxed rules, and it's just great fun, and it makes the sport far more accessible for all. And it doesn't matter what type of horse you have. You can have it's been fantastic. If you come down and see the final at Berry Farm, you'll see a small pony competing up against a giant cob, you know, and you get horses of all different shapes and sizes, and it doesn't matter. Whatever your ability, there is something for everyone here in British Dressage, and that's the message that we try to get out.
Were your children the inspiration for that? Are they into riding?
They're not, and I have to confess that, believe it or not, I've never actually sat on a horse myself.
Kidding.
No.
Right, come on, we need to find you one.
Well, that's the
You've
challenge
got
from
enough.
the board. The board have said that they want to have an inter-director dressage competition.
Yes.
So I'm going to have to get in training, I think, as soon as possible. But
well, you've got the best
I'll have
horses to choose from.
Absolutely.
You,
Well, I
really?
think I might have to ask Carl and Charlotte for a favour if they'll give me a session or two. But no, I've always been close to horses. I've always had a real passion and love for horses. I mean, they're such beautiful creatures. I mean, just look at them here. You know, you can't help but find it so inspirational. I find it quite emotional. Even last night, watching the Paralympics and watching the interviews with our Paralympic team, I was, I again have to confess that I was in floods of tears listening to that, because it's just, you know, so inspirational. But, you know, I don't ride myself, and I leave that to the experts.
But you get that connection. I even cry at the Lloyd's TSB advert. Every time I see that black horse with Black Beauty, I'm like, gives me goosebumps.
Well, exactly, goosebumps. And, you know, and I can watch, I mean, when I was out in Rio again, watching Charlotte's test, you know, it was just so emotional. The hairs were on end the whole way through. And from about halfway through, when you just knew that they were producing something really special, you know, your eyes well up, and you just think, oh, this is just fantastic.
You get that from the youngsters too, though, when you know that they're going to be really talented, and you know that they've got something special, and they have a partnership with the horse. I think seeing the little ones and how they move would be great.
Absolutely.
Now, I know
and they've got huge enthusiasm as well. You go again to some of our shows that we have there for Team Quest, and it's just great to see the next generation having so much fun. You know, and we have lots of different activities that we put on at British Dressage for our young riders to try and encourage them to get involved, and then hopefully they can come to shows like this at the Nationals and be inspired, because you can see young horses and indeed young riders too. You know, real talent here coming up through the ranks, and you know, the next generation will hopefully follow in the footsteps of Carl and Charlotte. But that's what it's all about. I mean, the sport does go from strength to strength, and actually, you know, I think dressage is bigger and better than ever before.
It used to be people said, I remember my other half saying, I'm not going to watch you trot around in a circle. And I said, but it's so much more than that. And then when they really understand what the power of dressage is, and it's the fact that they're athletes, and you know, it's the centre and the start for all the other disciplines. As soon as they realise that, then they go, wow, this is a really incredible sport. So, well,
it's the connection between horse and rider as well. That's what makes it so beautiful for me, because it's about that relationship and that bond, and it's formed over such a long period of time. That understanding that you have, that connection, and when it clicks, there's something quite magical about it.
Well, thank you very, very much for your time, because I know that you've got to go to, because there's an award going out now.
Well,
isn't there?
we've got the presentation, the prize giving for our Grand Prix coming up shortly. And then I'm very excited that we're going to have a parade of champions. We're going to celebrate the successes of our Olympic team.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, and
Brilliant.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your event.
Thank you very much.